This is the podcast overview for week 9. We will be covering chapter 8, all about interpersonal stress. So here's your to-do list to keep you on track for this week. And we have the objectives here for chapter 8. You can click right here and get an overview of each of these, where I talk about each of these kind of key areas. The lecture slides are here for chapter 8. And then your discussion for this week really focuses on chapter 3 of the McGonagall text. So you're really integrating that reading into your responses this week. So let's look this over. The first question says, read over and complete the Rethink Stress exercise on page 67 of McGonagall, The Upside of Stress. And you're going to be looking at what brings meaning to your life. So we're diving into meaning and its purpose. You know, what everybody struggles with the question, what is the meaning to life? And for each person, different things bring meaning into one's life. You're going to write about what the most meaningful roles are that you have, relationships, activities, or goals right now for you in your life. So you want to think about this a little bit. That's kind of like a loaded question. We have many roles, we have different relationships, we do many things, and we set lots of goals for ourselves. So dive into exploring that a little bit. In what parts of your life are you most likely to experience joy, love, laughter, learning, or a sense of purpose? So you could kind of consult the research there. McGonagall talks a lot about these elements in life and how these things can bring a sense of purpose. So you can talk about the research there and then maybe reflect on how that pertains to your life as well. Would you also describe any of these things as sometimes or frequently stressful? So the point here is one that McGonagall makes, is that sometimes the very things in life that bring us the most joy, the most love, the most laughter, or learning, or sense of purpose are also the things that can be really stressful. Okay, so kind of talk about that a little bit. And then take another moment to write about why these things are important to you. How would you feel if you suddenly lost one of these sources of meaning? So what would happen if one of those things was taken away from you? You know, how would you feel about that? So this is really a reflective writing piece. And I'm asking you to dive in here a little bit into your own life, but also pull upon some research. So I'm hoping to see kind of both embedded in your answer there. Second, read over and complete the next Rethink exercise, which is on page 72 and 73 of McGonagall. And what you're going to do here is pick your top 3 values on the list that you're given that are most important and personally meaningful for you. So it gives you a whole bunch of different values people have. What are your top 3? Describe why each value is important to you. And you can also describe how you express this value in your everyday life. How do you tie this into your daily sort of regimen, or who you are in your everyday life? And you could even include what you did today. Maybe think about your day. And did any of those values play a role in maybe the decisions you made today, or what you chose to do with your day? Keep in mind that these values are what you care about, not necessarily what people tell you you should care about. They're things that you personally hold as sort of sacred to you. So you're expressing what feels important and meaningful to you right now. It also doesn't matter if you're quote unquote good at a value. So some of the values are, things that maybe you want to value or you seek to value. It's a goal for you to get to that, like loyalty or honesty. Maybe you feel like there are things that you want to value but you're not that great at right now, that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. It can be something that you strive for in your life. And it can also be something that comes naturally to you, or something you would like to develop in yourself. So it really, when we think about the things we value or the things that we kind of set as goals for ourselves, like to be a family person, to develop relationships with other people, to be friendly. When we think about these traits, characteristics, adjectives, if you will, they're things that are, there's a whole mix. They're things that we currently think that we are doing and maybe we do well. And then there are things that we think we're working on, and it's kind of like a work in progress. So just keep that in mind as you're going through those lists and picking out your values. And then number 3, this is a quote that comes from McGonagall. Sometimes we are all guilty of trying to avoid stress in our lives. It seems like a rational strategy, but almost always it backfires. One of the benefits of embracing stress is that you find the strength to pursue goals and endure experiences that are difficult but meaningful. So do you think the Rethink Stress exercise on page 85, the next one, what do you think of this? And write about any costs you may have experienced trying to do exactly what McGonagall says, avoiding stress in your life. Do you look back and see areas where you were trying to dodge stress a little bit and maybe chose the path of least resistance, maybe didn't do something that was challenging, or maybe didn't meet a goal that you had for yourself and it was due to stress, and you were trying to kind of avoid the stress that came with it, so you chose differently. Think about sort of what that might be for you, and obviously that's a cost that you might have experienced in your quest to avoid that stress in your life. Okay, so that is it for this week. You just have the discussion postings. Please let me know as you're working on this week if you have any questions pertaining to any of the concepts within Chapter 8, and I'd be happy to walk you through that.